Hi Pumpkin, welcome back. I hope you're having a good day today because today's topic is how to take life less seriously, so that you feel like a sun, full of sunshine and joy and, positivity. But before we get going, we gotta walk the dog. It's a beautiful day to go walk my dog. Now let's get this dog. Alright, okay, I can multitask. So let's start with why I want to talk about this topic. Why you should take life a little less seriously. This topic is important to me because I am a chronic overthinker, overachiever. Often I'm just pretty dissatisfied with myself. I kind of have this imposter syndrome. I feel like I should be doing more and better and bigger and bolder and all these things, and have a lot of trouble just kind of appreciating successes that I have, the wins that I have, and the amazing life that I have. It's almost cruel not to be able to appreciate the things you have. So I decided to kind of investigate where that feeling of not being fully content or kind of over analyzing, to kind of find some kind of bullet point list that you can think about and be a bit more grateful about what you do have. So without further ado, let's get into it. You only have 1 hour. The first thing to remember is that you're only going to be here for an hour. If you average out the time the human race has been on this planet and equate that to a lifetime, our life, like as one person, maybe 100 years you're gonna live, is 1 hour. The time you have is a gift, and the capacity that you have to make decisions for yourself and to control your thoughts and your actions is not even going to span the whole length of that 100 years lifetime. What's really important, I think, is to remember that you can't focus on the things that you lose or the things that you gain, because nothing is permanent. Focusing on negative things is not the way to solve those negative things most of the time. So try not to see life as a problem that you have to solve, because you can't solve it. It's not a problem per se. It's just a set of circumstances that are not permanent, and therefore you should not be fixated and make your permanent mindset a negative one. So that's the first thing to remember. You're only here for an hour, and make that hour count. Let it go, na 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 na. The second thing is practice the art of letting go. This can be not only in the sense of material things like your position, your job, the money you have, the house you have, the cars you have. It can also go with the people you have in your life, your friends, your loved ones, the people that you want to have around. Holding on to something really, really tightly is not necessarily the way to keep that thing. This kind of weird concept that we have control over things and people doesn't exist. It's a mental kind of construct. And you can't, no amount of energy put towards trying to keep things that you believe are yours will keep those things around. And so being able to let go of the materialistic things and let go of the people that don't want to be in your life anymore is the best way to go. And sometimes, the end doesn't mean a negative thing. To some degree, gaining their absence. Someone that doesn't want to be around you is not someone that you should want around, because that energy is not the one that you're going to be putting into the relationship, and you have to be able to value yourself to the point where you want your love and affection to be reflected back to you in equal measure. Be a little crazy, just a little bit. The third thing is act a little bit crazy and free yourself from people's judgment. When you're a kid, you do things in a different way because you don't have that consciousness of what's right and wrong. And you might do something that's really goofy, really silly, that you wouldn't do as an adult. For instance, when I was younger, I would go and talk to literally everybody I wanted to. I wasn't shy. I was just like owning myself, doing my thing. And I think that we would benefit from stopping that self-criticism that keeps us from, just being a little bit more lively in general. Like if you see somebody walking up to you and it's a buddy of yours or whatever, just feel free to like, hey, and have life, use your expression, laugh louder, make jokes even if they're not funny, just kind of like do you, and like do it in a crazy way. Just kind of build up yourself to a point where you stop seeing yourself through other people's eyes. That when you want to do something and then you're like, ugh,
but what are people gonna think?
Kind of like for me doing this channel, and I know some people I know will watch this or see this or have seen my channel, and if I had stopped myself from doing it just because I was afraid that they'd be like, ugh, what's she doing? Like, I would have never done anything. It's good to laugh. It's good to be like full of expression. It's good to be goofy, and you should aspire to build that in your life because you only have one. So try to be a bit more of a kid, try to take a little bit more risks on things that you enjoy, to live it unapologetically and just to go for it.
Stop worrying, start ideating.
Fourth thing is to stop worrying so much about the future, because worrying is what we do when we're trying to protect ourselves from an outcome that we're not sure of. Worrying doesn't fix the problem, doesn't do anything except kind of blur your current moment and keep you from living it. So if you struggle with worrying, I know I do, a good exercise to do is to think about the worst freaking case possible. What's the worst scenario that could happen to you in the future? And then brainstorm on how to fix that worst scenario you can come to. If you lose your job, if you never get that position, what are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do?
And then you'll realize that there are solutions and that outcome isn't really that bad and most likely will not happen. So you can enjoy your present. And if you want to do that and you're the type of person that worries, just kind of fix that worst case scenario or those worst case scenarios and focus on the present. Focus on what you can do now. If you want to get ready for an opportunity in the future, just get ready for it as if you're going to do that thing that you want to do, as if you're going to get for that job you want to get. What would you do if you had it? Just be prepared for any possible opportunity and prepare for that worst case scenario.
Pick your battles.
Lastly, just learn to accept stuff that happens and is out of your control. Some things suck and it's going to be painful and uncomfortable, but you just have to learn to accept that and to be able to go forward in life with those difficult things or difficult situations that you are in. You have to learn when it's worth it to fight for something and when it's not, period. Sometimes there's an opportunity for change and growth, and you can put your values forward and just push it as much as you can. And sometimes the outcome is not going to change regardless of what you do. And so you just have to learn to be at peace with it. That's something that is difficult to do. I think that trying not to think about it that much and try not to overanalyze it and perhaps try to discuss it with people might help, but just learn to accept when it's important to fight for something and when it's important to drop it. And those were my tips for you. I hope they are useful. If you have tips that you would like to share here, please drop them in the comments. That would be really great. And I will see you next week.
As always, guys, thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you want to encourage this tiny itsy bitsy channel, and I'll see you next week.